Doers, it is a really exciting day. Today is Super Tuesday, so happy Super Tuesday to all of the political junkies out there. And on this big day in the presidential race, what's on your radar? What are you looking for? What are you thinking about? Let us know.
Well, obviously Biden is going to continue his march towards the uncontested nomination. What I'm particularly interested in is how well Nikki Haley is going to do, and can she continue on after Super Tuesday? She has some chance of winning in Vermont. The problem is the right wing dominates the very tiny Republican Party that we have here. But I think a fair amount of Democrats may cross over and vote for her. Our governor is a Republican, and he's already announced that he's voting for Nikki Haley, which is kind of courageous of him. You don't see much backbone in the Republican Party these days.
Do you think she has a viable path forward? Let's talk about that a little bit. We saw over the weekend Nikki Haley secured her first primary win in D.C., but no other states. What does that pathway to victory look like for her?
The pathway to victory looks like for her leads through the courtroom for Donald Trump. If he gets convicted he's already been convicted of one thing in New York. And if he gets convicted in some of these other trials, I think that Republicans may get a little nervous about him. And I think that's Nikki's play, is to stay in to see what happens in court with Trump.
He has a ton of legal setbacks. He owes about $500 million in legal setbacks already. He was indicted 4 times, has 91 charges. How big of a deal do you think this is in the rest of the election? Because when we see the polls for his support, regardless of legal challenges, are unwavering in his favor.
It's true, but eventually there are people in the position who are going to vote in November, who are going to be a little nervous about having a felon in the White House. So I think what you're going to see, March 25th is a really big day. 2 things happen on March 25th. One is the federal case against Trump in New York starts. But the other is that's the day that Trump has to put up $450 million worth of real estate and pay into the New York settlement that he's already lost. So these things are going to go forward. There's not a lot they can do about it, despite the delay tactic that's worked in some of the other areas. So those are the 2 big ones. The biggest, he may have succeeded in delaying the biggest case of all, which is the one in Georgia, where he's on tape trying to steal the election and intimidate this Republican Secretary of State. And if that should happen to find a guilty verdict, then he probably there's a good chance that he would not be the nominee.